Hey, Europe, Finland, and everybody over there in Europe. How's that working out for you? Sorry. It's kind of an asshole thing to say. Greg Medford from Medford Knife, MKT USA, and ASK Knives.
Just a little better than us, apparently.
What's that?
Just a little better than us, not much.
oh, believe me, we don't have anything working out over here either. We get morons running the place, homeless running the place, druggies running their place, and immigrants are more important than the citizens. So, it's about the same as Russia and Ukraine, except it's just going on all the time. All right, listen, we're going to get into it, tell you about some stuff, headed over to Lamnia in Finland. You guys can find them at lamnia.com, LAMNIA.com. Some super cool knives. I'll give you their number. It's +35, then 84005 35847. Reach out to guys at Lamnia if you like a few of the things you see, one of the things you see, all of the things you see. I'm sure they'd love to hear from you. It's time. Before they tell you you can't have this either. Before long, the only thing you'll be able to do is go to beer fest in Europe. Beer festivals, metal concerts, and be in liberation armies trying to liberate people that have been taken over by Russia. Here we go. USMC fighters, a couple of them, super sexy, of the original Type 1 style. We've got in black and green. Armor Lube. Oh yeah, just checking. Armor Lube black blades, titanium hilt and pommel. And then we've done, this is a new pattern, you'll see we've done this cool pattern that's a little textury feeling. Green and black, a green and black set. With, of course, our amazing leather sheaths handmade here in the US of A. M48 in green and black. So it's got the green 6061 integral backstrap frame, aluminum body, black Armor Lube handle, hardware, and blade. Super sexy black on green. Got a MIDI Marauder, a slim MIDI, sorry.
Suppressed handles.
Flame contrast hardware, feature suppressed handle for full sculpting. S45 VN blade, just sharp and sexy. Slim MIDI with the features, blasted, bronze, flame contrast, slightly polished hardware. I know we're just going to call out some of the finishes because it's hard to pick this up on camera. Okay, so this is basically a Terminator tumbled finish knife that's got some flame contrast hardware. S45 VN drop point, S45 VN drop point, super sharp. All right, that one's pretty, this one's actually kind of spooky sharp. Really nice. Oh yeah, that's really good. S45 VN slim MIDI. Amy knows all of these crazy terms, so it's basically
solar flare, man.
What do you call this? Solar flare?
Solar flare.
Solar flare, which basically means heat oxidized with some stuff spattered on it to give it a cool look. And contrast bronze hardware, super sexy. You'll notice we've done just a blue lock bar side, and then a contrast solar flare clip hardware to give you that contrasting texture. Terminator, full size Marauder. It's a Marauder H, is that what we call this one, Amy?
C.
It's a Marauder H, not a C. And it has flame contrast hardware, super sexy, big, one of the big first generation badass knives that we kind of got well known for. Micro Praetorian with a Vulcan finish blade, polished flame anno hardware, and then tumbled medium polish handles, Vulcan blade. Great little knife. Super sexy. That's the biggest little knife in the world. All right, Praetorian Scout. All blackout hardware on green, medium texture, fine texture G10. Titanium liner, blackout as well. Everything's sexy about that. Creepy Sharp D2. Praetorian tie. This has got some contrast work that's been done to it. Really lovely knife. CPM 3V blade. Sharper than shit. Bronze clip. So it's been faced and anode. Black Armor Lube around it. The knife has been, the handles have been sculpted. Black Armor Lubed, buffed and anode. Just to have the tops knocked off. So it's got a really nice, smooth, organic feel, and then pulled this bronze and black all together. Very, very sexy look. USMC Fighter flipper. You could see this is in like a periwinkle, blasted periwinkle kind of handle. Light blue anode tie hardware, some flame hardware, and then a tumbled S45 VN blade. Super sexy. Lot to call out there. So, you guys, we're always trying to take the same things that we make and put together unique permutations, combinations, and contrast to them to make them as interesting as possible. When you make a knife, if you don't contrast the colors or contrast the textures or contrast the tones, you get something that looks kind of flat and a lot of beauty and detail is missed. There's something really neat. It's almost like when you look in the back of a watch and you see all that mechanicalness going on. When you see us using the color and the contrast and the tone and the texture, you can see this creative palettes going on to trying to create a layered view of the knife. So you can see the cool details, so you can see the cool machining, so you can see the cool handwork, and you can see the different finishes playing off one another, and it's where the surface kind of comes alive, rather than having this monotonous, monotone, mass production look and feel to it. You can't do all of these contrasting tones, finishes, and colors at the production level. It's really hard to do. You can only do it at the really craftsmanship hand level. Anything I missed, Amy?
Negative.
Blades headed to Lamnia in Finland. Lamnia, LAMNIA.com. Greg Medford from Medford Knife. Amy on the camera. You can also go find me at ASK Knives. You can find me at medfordknife.com. You can find us on YouTube at Medford Knife. You can find us on Instagram. You can find us on Facebook. And you can also find my podcast talking about some knives, talking about war stories, talking about politics and everything. If you like the rants, you can go over to our podcast, which is at iTunes, Rumble, and Spotify. So, I'm out.